Yahweh, praise Yahweh. Prophet Yahweh here. I represent the name Yahweh, which is the name of the creator of all things. I represent the creator Yahweh. By his authority do I speak. By his blessings do I make, he give me what shall happen before it happens, as a warning to those who will heed his call. In the last couple of shows, I talked about the conspirators, that they exist, that there's a government within the government that determines what goes on politically and financially for this country. If you only knew what they have been up to and what they're preparing to do, it'll blow you away. Wow, man. Wow. I've been in the second show, I talked about the collapse that's coming. It's going to be engineered. You know, I mean, in all the streets, dead bodies, in all the homes, dead bodies, a complete breakdown of law and order. Why? A complete state of anarchy and revolution. Why? A condition everywhere in American major cities and surrounding areas that'll make the suffering of Katrina look like, and what happened in New Orleans look like, and the suffering that those people went through, and the numbers of them that died and drowned, and either out in the streets or that were in their homes and could not break through into the attics and could not get to the roof, looks small. I'm talking about suffering right here in America that's unimaginable and is done deliberately. But if you vote for Barack Obama, it could be held off for years. He is our only choice to escape what the government within the government has been working on, which has produced the chaotic economic and financial situation, and what's preparing to happen. McCain voted 90% of the time for Bush, and all he claims he tried to do to help in the government was speaking from the standpoint of that 10% of the time he wasn't speaking with Bush. You know, I mean, like, that shows that he follows the lead. He does what's suggested to him or what's told to him, that he's not a leader. There is no way a leader would vote 90% of the time for one of his friends and then stand up and talk about all that he's done, and since he's been in government, the fight he's fought for the American people, which fits in only 10%, that 10% of the time when he didn't vote according to what was suggested or told to him. And so how can a man like McCain, if he's just a follower and does what he sees others want him to do, since he votes 90% of the time, lead the American government through what's coming? You know, if you just think about it, if there was a plan to bring devastation in order to bring in a new constitution and a new totalitarian regime in America, if there was a plan and the Creator knew the suffering, and then he wanted to work against it, then he would not choose somebody within the government, the inner government. He would choose somebody that was not, and that would be opposed, that know about the inner government, and that rules over the rest of the government and determine what will happen for government and finances. And it seemed like if the Creator did that, he would come out of nowhere. A modern day King David against the giant Goliath of this powerful government within the government and the American government, period. That's Obama. You must vote for him. If you do not vote for Obama, Yahweh's choice in trying to hold off intense suffering, You and your children, your elderly and your loved ones are going to regret it. Because McCain is only going to do what he's always done and it's been proven by the media in a very big way. And when it talks about him, how he voted 90% of the time for Bush, he never once said anything and started talking about what all he has done, which fits within that 10% of the time he didn't vote for Bush. He doesn't have the condition of mind, to lead and to fight against the very people he's been supporting all this time. But Obama does. And this book here, Wake Up America, is later than you think. Man, it says here, within 10 years you'll be living, you will have barely enough to wear and to eat. You will live with strangers. You will not have a car. You will have a work permit, speak your mind, worship God, or violate any of the rules of the state. And they will revoke your work permit. Without it, you will not be able to obtain food, clothes, or shelter. You will be arrested as a vagrant and sent to a labor camp. Children will not live with their parents. They will live in groups and be indoctrinated to serve the state without question. All members of patriotic organizations will be rounded up. The leaders will be interrogated, tortured, and eventually shot. The general membership will be placed in detention camps and worked to death. Freedom will have perished and America will have died. Incredible? It can't happen, you say? But it is already happening. Wake Up America is later than you think. Man, this book here gets into how they're going to bring the intense suffering, okay? But why? Why are they going to cause an economical, political, monetary collapse? I'm talking about the invisible government. And why are they going to allow that to happen? It's because they want that suffering upon all of us, so that in the end we would cry out for something that would take away the suffering. We're going to want a new government. We'll be primed to accept whatever this invisible government decides to offer us. And that'll be the day that the freedoms are lost. This book here, The Plot to Replace the Constitution, it talks about how that a new constitution has been written for America. And it says in the opening, today every American is about to have his personal rights and freedom swept away and to be reduced to a slave of the state. All of this will happen soon as the result of a vicious plot by one of the nation's most prestigious and wealthy organizations to replace the United States Constitution. This will bring about one of the greatest tragedies in the history of mankind, with rioting, murder, famine, fire, plunder, and pestilence sweeping America. It gets into all the details of this. It talks about who he thinks is behind it and what he thinks is going to happen. Vote for Barack Obama. The spaceships that are preparing to descend on my prayer signal, more about this in other broadcasts. And the press release I put out about this is proof. Proof. When they appear, more than likely before the election, more than likely on October 31st, that every American should vote for Barack Obama as President of the United States. If you care about this country, if you care for your family, think about your children, think about your babies, think about those you love, think about your elderly, think about the American people in general, you will vote for Barack Obama. Don't vote for a man who's proven to go along with what's suggested to him 90% of the time. Selah.